Okay, let's go.
What if I told you the real secret separating the wealthiest 1% from everyone else isn't some crazy, complicated investment strategy? Nope. It's not about how much they earn, but how they manage their money. It all boils down to one powerful idea: ownership. And in this explainer, we're going to break down the exact framework you can use to start building wealth like they do, starting right now. So check this out. When you actually look at who makes up the top 1%, a really clear picture starts to form. A whopping 75% are entrepreneurs, 15% are investors, 7% inherited it. But you see the common thread, right? They all own things that make money for them: businesses, stocks, real estate. But look at that last slice: salaried employees, sitting at a big fat zero. That's the key. And that leads us to a pretty hard-hitting truth, maybe the most important thing you'll hear today. If you don't own something that's working for you, then you become the asset that's working for someone else. Think about that for a second. It's the fundamental mindset shift we have to make if we're serious about changing our financial story. Okay, so how do we actually make that shift? Well, first, you gotta understand the system most of us are trapped in. You work, you get paid, you pay your bills, and suddenly you're just waiting for that next paycheck to hit. It's like a financial treadmill, designed to keep you running and running, but never actually getting anywhere. But there is a way off. And this is it. This is the blueprint to get off that treadmill: the 25-15-50-10 rule. It's a super simple but powerful way to manage your after-tax income. And the best part? It doesn't matter if you're earning $20,000 or $200,000 a year. This is all about being intentional with the money you already have. It forces you to start thinking, and more importantly, acting like an owner. All right, let's dive in. First up, we've got the most important part: the engine of your new financial life, your growth fund. 25% of every single dollar you earn after taxes goes right here. This money has one job and one job only: to buy assets. Things that grow in value and put more money back in your pocket. This is the money that's out there hustling for you 24/7, even while you sleep. Now, you might be thinking, I don't have that much to invest, but that's where you'd be wrong. The most powerful force on your side isn't a huge pile of cash. It's time. It's all because of the absolute magic of compound growth. See, the money our money earns starts earning its own money. It creates this incredible snowball effects. To really see what I mean, let me tell you a quick story about two friends. Okay, meet Billy and Phil. Billy is on it early. He starts investing just $200 a month when he's 20. Phil waits a bit, gets started at 30, but he tries to make up for lost time by investing more, $300 a month. Now get this, over their careers, Phil actually puts in $12,000 more of his own cash. But the result? It's not even close. Billy, just by starting 10 years earlier, ends up a millionaire with almost $600,000 more than Phil. That, my friends, is the insane power of starting early. So the big question is, what should you actually buy with this growth money? Well, think of it on a spectrum. On one end, you have your low-risk, solid foundation stuff. And for pretty much everyone starting out, this is where you want to live. We're talking about things like index funds, which is just a fancy way of saying you buy a tiny slice of the whole stock market. It's simple, it's diversified, and it's a proven way to build wealth. Once you've got that foundation, then you can start exploring other things. So here's your action plan. It's just 3 steps. 1, pick your asset. An S&P 500 index fund is a fantastic place to start. 2, open up a tax-advantaged account like a Roth IRA or a 401k. Think of these as special accounts with superpowers that let your money grow without the government taking a huge bite out of it. And 3, and listen up because this is the most critical part, automate it. Set it up so the money is transferred the second you get paid. You have to pay yourself first before anyone else. Okay, next up is your stability fund. This 15% is what keeps you from getting knocked out of the game. So many people build up some investments, then life happens, a medical bill, a car repair, and they're forced to sell everything at the worst possible time, wiping out all their hard work. I learned this the hard way. When I was 18, my car engine just blew up. I had 0 savings, I had to borrow money, and it set me back a full year. This fund is your shield. It's your defense against life's unexpected curveballs. So how much do you actually need in this fund? The rule of thumb is about 5 months worth of your absolute core expenses. So first, you figure out your monthly baseline. Just the must-haves: rent, food, gas, utilities. Let's say that comes out to $1,500 a month. You multiply that by 5, and boom, Your target is $7,500. Until you hit that number, 15% of your income goes straight into building up that shield. Now, where you keep this money is just as important as having it. There are 3 non-negotiable rules for your stability fund. Rule 1, it has to be easy to get to, like within 24 hours. Rule 2, it must be at 0 risk. I'll say it again, do not, under any circumstances, invest your emergency fund. And Rule 3, it should be earning at least a little bit of interest to help fight off inflation. Honestly, a high-yield savings account is the perfect place for this. It checks all 3 boxes. All right, onto the biggest chunk of the pie, 50% for your essentials. And notice the subtitle here. This is the money that feeds you, not your ego. It's kind of crazy, but studies show that over 60% of people earning 6 figures are still living paycheck to paycheck. How is that even possible? It's a simple, dangerous trap called lifestyle creep. The more they make, the more they spend. And it is the #1 killer of wealth. So to fight back against lifestyle creep, you have to get brutally honest with yourself. I want you to really think about where your money is going. Are you paying for true essentials? Or are you paying for luxuries that you've convinced yourself are essentials? Because that distinction, well, it changes everything. Let's get crystal clear. Essentials are the things that keep you safe, healthy, and able to work. We're talking rent, groceries, utilities, and insurance. Luxuries are pretty much everything else. That daily coffee run, the latest design or whatever, the 5 different streaming services you forgot you're even paying for. If you can live without it, it does not belong in this 50% bucket. And look, if you really want to make a big impact on getting this number under 50%, don't sweat the small stuff. Focus on the 2 biggest money pits for most people, housing and transportation. See if you can renegotiate your rent, or maybe get a roommate. Buy a reliable used car instead of getting locked into a flashy new lease. Making smart choices here can literally free up hundreds of dollars every single month. And to really build that muscle of intentional spending, you need a system. So before you make any non-essential purchase, just run it through this quick 3-question filter. First, is this an impulse buy? If the answer is yes, just wait 7 days. See if you still want it. Second, are you buying this for the brand name or for the actual value it provides? Always chase quality, not logos. And finally, is this thing genuinely going to make your life better? This little mental checklist is a game changer. And finally, we get to the part that most financial advice completely ignores, but it might just be the secret ingredient that makes this whole thing work. 10% for your rewards. Look, this isn't about being irresponsible. It's about being human. If you deprive yourself constantly, you're going to burn out. It's why 92% of people who try super strict budgets eventually fail and overspend. This 10%, this is your planned guilt-free release valve. It's what keeps you sane. The easiest way to handle this is something called a joy jar. It's literally just a separate bank account. Every single payday, you automatically transfer 10% of your income into it. That's your fun money. You can spend it on absolutely anything you want, with 0 guilt. But here's the rule. Once that joy jar is empty for the month, it's empty. You gotta wait for the next payday. This teaches you how to get the most joy out of your money without blowing up your entire plan. And here's a little pro tip for your joy jar money. Try to prioritize spending it on experiences, not just stuff. You know, things like vacations, hobbies you're passionate about, a great dinner with friends, or a thoughtful gift for someone you love. A new phone gives you a short-term buzz, but memories provide a return on happiness that literally compounds for the rest of your life. And that's it. That's the whole system. It's so much more than a budget. It's a complete blueprint for taking back control. You've got 25% for your growth, building your future, 15% for stability, protecting your present, 50% for your essentials, covering your needs, and 10% for rewards so you can actually enjoy the journey. Every single one of your dollars finally has a mission. Because when you get right down to it, it's really this simple. Your money is always working. Right now, as you're listening to this, it's out there, working hard. The only question is, who is it working for? Is it working for your credit card company, for your landlord? Or is it finally working for you, for your goals, for your freedom? The choice is yours.